Wasabi guys, I'm gonna bring you another deck tech. Pardon the alcohol, but this is gonna be of Prossh Skyraider of Kher. I fucking love this dude. He's awesome. He's unlike any other deck I've played, mainly because the other decks I play happen to be blue. But guess what? If it works, you know, it works, man. It's blue, it's alright. I don't really care. I'm not that shallow where I'm going to be like, oh, I'm not going to play you because you're playing a busted-ass deck. Prossh is the man because Jund, like, probably my favorite color combination. Fucking love it. I love it. The guy's aggressive. He gives you tokens. The cool thing about him, though, each time you cast him, you get a certain number of the little Kher dudes, little Cobalt dudes, and you get those equal to the number of mana spent to cast them. So initially, you're going to pay 6 mana to cast them. You get 6 of those little Cobalt dudes. You cast them the second time. That's 8 mana. 8 little Cobalt dudes. You sacrifice a creature, and he gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Again, you don't really care about the +1/+0. The best thing about him is that he's a free sack outlet. Again, one of the most underrated things people fail to mention about Prossh is that there's really like no other commander that's as good as he is. Allows you to play multiple colors and is a sack outlet in his own right. He's a 5/5/2 with flying, so he tears ass, to say the least. So let's get started on the fucking land package. Westvale Abbey here, colorless land, but who really cares? You pay 5 mana, tap it. You get to pay 1 life. Put a 1/1 white black human creature token onto the battlefield. Don't really care about that, but if it's all you can use the mana for, why not? You can also pay 5 mana, tap it to sacrifice 5 creatures, transform Westvale Abbey into Ormondal Profane Prince. This guy is a badass. Flying lifelink, indestructible haste, 9/7. Yeah, definitely worth sacrificing 5 creatures, and with our commander, we get a shit ton of them. So keep that in mind going on in your journeys. Kher Keep here, you get to tap it, adds a colorless, pay 1 generic and a red, tap it to put a 0/1 red Kobold onto the battlefield named Kobold's a Kher Keep. It's just a little token thing, can't go wrong there. Temple of False God, mana, Volast Stronghold, because we don't play that many good graveyard recursion cards in this deck, so having it in a land, that's not bad. We don't play, I don't know, we play a decent amount of black in this deck, so Urborg make mana fixing for black pretty easy. Command Tower is just good. Exotic Orchard, pretty much a command tower, because again we are playing 3 colors, so typically we're going to run into other decks that are playing ours. Ash Barrens thins out our deck, gets us a specific land that we need for, it's a basic land, but whatever we need, whether it's a forest, a mountain, or a swamp, we can get it. Terramorphic Expanse, cheap fetch land. I do play 3 others, they're good fetch lands, but again, ideally I want to play, I think 9 of them. Yeah, I can only play 9. If I had all 9, I would put them in here. But again, this isn't one of my high rolling decks money-wise. I think it's estimated value probably about 500. Blood Crypt, Shocks, because again, I can't afford the dual lands. Stomping Ground, Overgrown Tomb. I got a couple of these dudes that come into play. Untapped if you control specific land type. Got a couple bouncies for your bouncy castles. Got a Bloomin' Marsh, why not? Got Landwar Waste, why not? Temple of Milady enters the battlefield tap, you get the Scry. One of the most underrated land cycles in the game. People just, you know, don't play them for some reason. They're really good. Yeah, they come into play tap, but who the fuck cares? You get the Scry. That's pretty decent, considering this deck doesn't run too much card draw. Play one of the other Pain land. Yeah, I play the other one too. Got 2 of these from Battle for Zendikar, because something to search with our fetches, since we don't play the dual lands. Play, how many? 4? Yeah, 4 forests, 3 swamps, and 1 mountain. We don't play too much red in the deck. but we do play it. Artifacts, Mana Crypt, can't go wrong. One of the best cards, if not the best card in the game, or the format, I should say. Bite my tongue there, Void Mage. Soul Ring, can't go wrong. Felwar Stone, again, same thing as Exotic Orchard. Chances are your opponents are going to be playing the colors. Rakdos Signet, Gruul Signet, Golgari Signet, Skull Clamp, awesome card draw. We don't play too much, as I said earlier, so being able to, kill a creature we control, yeah, we kill it, but we get to draw 2 cards. I mean, one of the better trade-off cards in the game. Arguably one of the most broken cards, too. Sensei's Divining Top. Look at the top 3, good draw manipulation. Ashnod's Altar, good sack outlet, get 2 colorless mana. Phyrexian Altar, get colored mana. Just 1, but still colored mana is good. Solemn Simulacrum. So many people say Solemn Simulacrum. ETBs, you get to search for a basic land card. When he dies, you draw a card. Pretty simple. And unfortunately, I don't have a Birds of Paradise because, like the dumbass I am, I went to the game store I go to and I sold all of them while forgetting to hold on to at least one for this deck in particular. But I do have Deathrite Shaman, so good utility. Gets the job done when I need him to. Sakura Tribe Elder, 2 mana, gets a sack trigger. Search a land. Blood Artist, just sit on these dudes all game. You get so much life gain. You get to hurt them in the process. Really good. Just that life count. You can't underestimate that. Zulaport Cutthroat, same damn thing, just a little bit different. I don't feel like going into the differences there. Wood Elves, ETBs, gets us a forest card. Enters untapped, so it's decent. Eternal Witness, have to play it, good recursion. Rex Sage, ETBs, it's 3 mana, you get a good creature you can sack or block, do a lot of cool shit with. And destroy target artifact or enchantment when ETBs, pretty decent. Yahenni Undying Partisan, one of the newer additions to the deck. He's a sack outlet in his own right. It's pretty much, it's a free sack outlet. He has haste, and whenever a creature your opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on him. We play a ton of Grave Pact effects, and we play some removal in here too. So it's not hard to make him indestructible, board wipe, or just kill something off with a Grave Pact effect, and get a ton of +1/+1 counters, and just start swinging and dealing tons of damage with Yahenni. Sprouting Thrynax, kill it, get 3 tokens. Ogre Battle Driver, pretty funny with Prossh. Makes all the kobolds like 2/1s, and they have haste. Prossh has haste too and becomes like a 7/5. Can't go wrong there. Falconwrath Noble, Blood Artist for 4 mana with flying. Smothering Abomination, pretty good. Each time you sacrifice a creature, you draw a card. Card draw is great in Commander. Endrick Sar, the Masturbator. Yeah, it's pretty good. You cast the spell. Whenever you cast a creature spell, to be exact, you get X/1/1 black thrall creature tokens on the battlefield, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. When you control 7 or more thralls, you have to sacrifice them, but who gives a fuck? As long as you get a ton of tokens in the process, who really cares? My Koloth, as opposed to your Koloth, he's mine. You get the Devour 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you put a 1/1 green sapling creature token on the battlefield for each +1/+1 counter on my Koloth. Meseric Kraul Death Priest. Whenever player sacrifices another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Why am I doing this? Grave Titan, ETBs. You get 2/2/2 black zombie creature tokens on the battlefield. Hold on. This guy's good because you have a ton of creatures you can sack. You get a ton of +1/+1 counters and swing with a lot of damage. I rushed that for some reason. But yeah, this guy's good for token production too. Deathbringer Fucktar. You put a +1/+1 counter on him whenever a creature dies, and you get to basically save them up and save them for a rainy day or whenever you need to spite someone. Avenger Zendikar, another token producer. Don't really care about the +1/+1 counter bullshit. We just care that we get a ton of little green plant token fodder. Butcher of Malakir. Basically Grave Pact effect on a stick. Pretty decent. Chancellor of the Forge. Another underrated card. Doesn't see enough play. Whenever you enters the battlefield, you get to get X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens with haste on the battlefield, where X is the number of creatures you control. Funny thing is, we get a lot of creatures. This is a deck where you go wide, and so yeah, that's gonna be a lot of ETBs right there. We love ETBs. We love sack triggers, and anytime we have a ton of creatures on the field, that's awesome. The whole thing where it enters the battlefield, all the Chancellors had this bullshit. You get a 1/1 red goblin creature with haste in the beginning of your upkeep, your first upkeep. So I mean, it's alright. Terrastodon. He tears ass, and he's a Stodon. He enters the battlefield, destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents. Big deal, because we can get it out pretty easy, cheat into play. I don't think I have Tooth and Nail anymore. I'm sorry, guys. But I should have that in this deck. I think I sold it or something. Yeah, but they get 3/3 green elephants. Who gives a shit? You have a 9/9 Terrastodon. Craterhoof Behemoth, 8 mana. You can find a way to cheat it into play. I do have one card that can help cheat it into play, and it's pretty much a win when you get him out. But don't play him too early. Just to be warned, you're a scrub if you play him too early. I know someone who tried to do that. They ended up fucking me over, but they ended up getting embarrassed later in the game. So yeah, don't be a dick. Sylvan Library, 2 mana, green enchantment, card draw, good thing. Cryptolith Rite, another good card. I don't know if I had this on my top 10 green cards list, but I don't think I did. But it should be, it's definitely in consideration for the future if I ever make another list, but it's a pretty good card. Turns basically all your creatures into birds of paradise. Impact Drummers. Just 2 mana enchantment, sits on the field. He deals 1 damage to each opponent each time a creature enters the battlefield, which is pretty epic from a 2 mana common. Can't go wrong there. Goblin Bombardment, awesome card. Like I said, with a lot of other cards in this deck. Save your stamps and mail them. Phyrexian Arena, 3 mana black enchantment, Howling Mine. Why aren't you playing it? Attrition, 3 mana enchantment, 1 black, sacrifice a creature, destroy target non-black creature. Pretty decent. Not always good, but it's pretty good most of the time. Awakening Zone, each upkeep you get a 1/1 little Eldrazi spawn token, sacrifice it for 1 colorless. That's good. Not quite Bitter Blossom, but it gets you mana if you sack it. Fuck Cunt Titties, you get, whenever a creature dies, that creature's controller may draw a card, so it's a good card draw. Yeah, you can give it to your opponents too, but who cares? You're most likely going to be having the most sack triggers and epicness going on your side of the field, so it's pretty good. Beastmaster Ascension. Beastmaster Ascension. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you may put a quest counter on Beastmaster's Ascension, as long as Beastmaster Ascension has 7 or more quest counters on it. Creatures you control get +5/+5. Just overrun their ass. Perforos, God of the Forge. I don't know why I put it in enchantments. I guess I felt like it was more of an enchantment. But it pretty much is. You only care about the ETB triggers. I mean, it's not difficult to make him a creature, but you care about the fact each creature entering the battlefield. Let's just put this into perspective. The first time you cast Prossh, that's 7 ETB triggers. That's 14 damage to each opponent, just for having all your creatures enter the battlefield. Little effort to do that. It's awesome. Parallel Lives. I don't play Doubling Season in this deck, by the way, because I feel it's kind of too much and it makes you a huge target. Parallel Lives doesn't make you as much of a target, but it's awesome. It does what you need to do. You don't need the +1/+1 counters. Who gives a shit? You're wanting to go wide. Just 4 mana, go wide. You don't need 5 mana to go wide. You need 4. Cheaper, makes a lot of difference, believe it or not. Grave Pact, I said before, good removal. Dictate of Erebos, basically 5 mana Grave Pact for a little bit more flexible mana and has flash. Warstorm Surge, kind of iffy about it. If I could get a Tooth and Nail, probably replace it, but it is what it is. Vicious Shadows, funny card. If you're going against control decks that like to draw a shit ton of cards, this is your way of making them pay. unless they answer it, but pretty much if you have Prossh out and you play Vicious Shadows, you're going to fuck them up. Now instance. Oh wow. Vampiric Tutor. Pretty good. Krosan Grip. One of the more underrated cards you should be playing. Split Second. Destroys an artifact or enchantment. Why not? Beast Within. Pretty good removal in green. Why not? Putrefy. Pretty good removal in the colors. Versatile. Sorry about that. Demonic Tutor is Satan. Diabolic Intent. Satan that requires you to sack a creature. That's it. Hull Breach. Gruul mana, just 2 mana there. You can either destroy an artifact or destroy an enchantment or destroy both. Why isn't this in more decks? This is like one of the best cards. It's probably, if I make a Gruul top 10, this will definitely be, if not number 1, up there. So stay tuned for that, bros. Toxic Deluge. Additional cost to cast it, you pay X life. We have a ton of creatures that help us gain life, so it shouldn't be too hard. And it's good removal for creatures. Cultivate gets us manas. Kodama's Reach gets us manas. Eldritch Evolution. This card is awesome. You sacrifice Prossh, who's 6 mana, to get Craterhoof, who's 8 mana. Funny how it's X plus 2 the sacrifice creature's converted mana cost. That's fucking hilarious. And it puts it in the battlefield. Just for 3 mana and sacrificing your commander. That's awesome. Explosive Agitation. 4 mana. Should be Shroud Claim or whatever that card is called. Damnation. Destroying all creatures that can't be regenerated. Rishkar's Expertise. Another new card in this deck. Draw cards equal to the greatest power of creatures you control. Most of the time it's going to be 5, which is Prossh. Again, draw 5 cards and you get to cast a card with converted mana cost 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. That's epic. So basically you're just paying 1 mana to draw 5 cards and then you get to cast. That's ridiculous. It's great in Storm too. If you can play Ydra's Storm decks, it's an awesome card. Insert Erection. 8 mana. Untap all creatures. Gain control of them until end of turn. They gain haste. Holy shit. This was on my top 10 list. You should be playing it. And it's funny when you have a free sack outlet in Prossh. Blasphemous Act. Holy shit. Most of the time it's going to be 1 red mana to deal 13 damage to each creature. Whoa! You should be playing it, buddy. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys appreciate this video. Thanks for being patient with me through these difficult times. Who the fuck am I kidding? I'm doing pretty well right now. But thanks for watching this video. I like doing deck techs. Let me guys know how much you love this, or even if you didn't like it. You can dislike. It's a free country. I'm not gonna go wherever you live and cut your hand off for disagreeing with me. There's some countries where that happens. So feel free to comment, leave any feedback, good or bad. I don't really care. I'm not like that. I'm not gonna hurt you for having an opinion. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. See you next time.